council as trustee of the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund on Monday. No, that's the last day. What day does it say? I have no idea. Oh,
The 8th of July.
Oh, dearie me. It's been a hot day. Okay. Town Clerk, can I ask, are there any apologies for absences received?
Yes, we've got Councillor Green has a personal commitment, Councillor Morehouse has a work commitment, Councillor Black has a personal commitment, and Councillor D. Carter has a personal commitment, and D. Carter has a work commitment.
Thank you. So moving on to agenda item 2, declarations of interest. This is to receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest from members in respect of business to be transacted on the agenda this evening. Do we have any? No. And then if we move on to agenda item 3, and these are the minutes of the previous meeting, and we're being asked to approve the minutes of the ordinary meeting of STC as trustee of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund held on the 16th of March 2026, and to consider any matters arising from those minutes not covered elsewhere in the agenda. Are there any comments from anybody on those minutes? If not, would somebody like to propose them? Councillor Franklin has proposed. Councillor Pennington has seconded. If we vote on those. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. And I'll just sign those.
Yeah. Well, the Cox Lake.
Cox Lake.
Same as in Mark.
Sorry, I'm just trying to double-sided by mistake. So.
I've done.
Okay,
Yeah, that's all done. Thank you very much. Okay, agenda item 4, and that was to review the action log, but there was only one outstanding action which has now been cleared, so we can move past that. Unless somebody's got a challenge against that closed action. Okay. Agenda item 5, public participation, 20-minute session set aside for members of the public to make representations at the meeting. Any requests? No. Thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item 6. This is the finances. I know what's wrong here. I know what's wrong here. I was reading the agenda from the previous meeting, that's why I got confused. Yes, so the key thing here is to look at the commentary from the finance officer, which helpfully outlines the current position. So we're being asked to receive a number of items. So the first is to receive a year-to-date variance report for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Museum and Guildhall as of April 2025 to March 2026. That's attachment 6A. Are there any comments? No? Is somebody happy to I would propose we receive them? Councillor Marie, seconded Councillor Fortescue. Yes, unanimous as well, thank you very much. And then we've been asked to, on the investments, firstly to receive a Corticelia Asset Management Monthly Investment Report as of end of March, April 2026. Alongside this we have Corticelia's latest review for the charities landscape that they are linked into. So could I ask whether there are any comments at all on their monthly investment report, and if not, some likely those who receive it. Councillor Marie, seconded. Councillor Franklin. Okay. And then under agenda item 6C, we've been asked to consider if the current risk profile supports the aims of STBF according to its investment policy. Would you like to talk about that?
Okay, just that it was agreed over the course of the certainly last 6 months, there's been talk about how well Corticelia had been doing, and the sort of, I can't remember if it was where it was noted, but the memory I have is that the consensus was that the Corticelia was performing okay for a medium risk fund, but that if we wanted a better return, or could be a worse return, different return, as it were, then we would have to look at we needed to look at our risk profile. And speaking to Quilter Cheviot, he highlighted that we should be reviewing our investment policy in light of our attitude to risk each year. I spoke to him and he gave me this document. It was part of a much longer document which wasn't appropriate, so I cut out the 3 pages that were pertinent really to our understanding, sort of lay understanding of quantifying risk. He said that basically we are running at a medium to higher risk. We have 35% in equities, I think he said. So it's whether or not we're happy with this risk profile, which is yielding the current sort of return, or whether the trustee would like to consider a different risk profile that would then feed into the investment policy.
Thank you. So do you have any comments on that? So the 2 things we are being asked to do is to consider if the current risk profile supports the aims of STBF according to its investment policy, and then secondly to adopt a risk profile for the year 26-27, which might simply be that we take forward what we currently have got as a risk profile. I know we've discussed it a few times in the past. Well, this is the 4th year, isn't it? So it's not surprising we have. The question is, in terms of performance, reasonable, and we had that evidenced by the finance officer in a previous meeting in terms of where Quilter Cheviot sat alongside its peers. Unless there's a real groundswell of opinion to move from the current risk profile, we probably should continue with where we are.
Exactly what I was going to say, was continue what we've got, it's leading the risk, so continue with what we have.
Yeah. Any counter views to that? If not, I'll take it as a proposal from Councillor Marie on both parts that we consider the profile does support the investment policy, and also that we roll that forward to 26-27. That's proposed by Councillor Marie, seconded by Councillor Ripley. The votes on that. Right, and that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Is there anything else we need to, does that
Then we need to review the investment policy statement.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to take us through that?
No, really, it's what was there.
In front of us on these.
Section 16.
Yeah. So we are also asked to review the investment policy statement. Do we have any comments at all on that? We are marked up as a medium. Yeah.
Propose keeping the same.
Yeah. Okay. So we've been asked to review it. We've reviewed it. I hope we'll look to do before this meeting, and propose that we accept that. Citizen information seconded by Councillor Franklin, and vote on that as unanimous as well. Thank you very much.
We're British tobacco, you know.
Yes.
And so we ditched them even though they were good at the time, good price.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item 7, this is review of standing orders, terms of reference and financial regulations. Now there are a number of changes proposed by the town clerk, so if you'd like to take us through those,
yes.
we can decide whether we accept them.
Really, I went through them all, just that some of them were mirrors of Sandwich Town Council, and obviously the Shoreditch Fund is a charity, not a council, so I changed some of the terms really, and a few little details. So throughout standing orders, I changed proper officer, because that's a council term, to clerk to trustee. I removed the ability to have online meetings. That's a sort of council hangover from COVID. So I took it out. This is the charity, not the STC, so I thought that was better, but changed. Yes, and 3R, remove the reference in 3R. I think
So it's electing the chair or vice chair.
yes, exactly. That was in there, and it doesn't make sense because
The mayor
in
is the
5,
Chair.
the chair is the mayor, so I took that out. So those are the main chairs. 5A, the chair. Yeah, those are the changes.
Thank you very much. Any comments at all? No?
No, I think during those COVID things, we made about 18 months in actual. Yeah.
Did you?
Meetings here.
That was nice. Yes, Councillor Anderson.
I think and I'm a bit surprised at just taking out the possibilities or the orders concerning online meetings, because we're all told to expect
I think
crises similar to COVID
obviously,
again.
yeah, this is trustee, the
Yeah.
trustee of the STBF. For the town council, they've kind of taken away they've removed I think it's probably there in abeyance if ever there was to be another pandemic. But there is some new guidance that's coming out in the short to medium term, the next 6 to 18 months, I don't know exactly, about hybrid meetings that could be coming, which will help with being porous and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think would involve people logging in through an OWL type system. But the government is producing guidance on that. It's not here yet
No.
for council meetings. When it's there for council meetings, at that point, the trustee could consider mirroring it, I would suggest, but it's obviously up to the trustee at that point.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable question, thank you. Any other questions? And if not, I'll go through what we need to do. Thank you very much. So the first thing to do is we've been asked to receive and adopt the standing orders as presented, with any changes presented this evening for 26-27. Somebody have to propose those? Councillor Pennington and Councillor Marine seconded. Marine and Pennington. And that's unanimous as well. And then similarly, the same is to receive and adopt for 26-27 in terms of reference.
Shall we go through those?
Yes, please, if there are any.
Okay, so again, 5C, there was reference in that one of references to proper officers and the 1972 LGA Act, which is obviously a government council act, so I've taken that out. 5D, I have taken the references to employment out because of the way John's restructured the accounts, as the internal auditor asked him to do. Staff are all now paid by STC and recharged to STBF, and so therefore all contracts sit with STC, so references to employment need to come out of STBF terms of reference. And again in 5E took out references to the 72 Act and employment. So
Thank you
that's
very
those
much.
ones.
Any observations, comments? If not, been asked to receive and adopt for 26-27. Councillor Lyons is proposing we do that, and seconded by Councillor Pennington. Vote on those. That's unanimous. And then finally, we've been asked to receive and adopt for 26-27 financial regulations.
Okay, so those ones, again, the general power of competence is council terms, so that's taken out because we're a charity. Again, taking out references to employment, taking out references to petty cash because neither the town council or STBF use petty cash. Again, 7 is employment, so taking out the whole of section 7 because the staff are employed by STC and recharged. And then 8.2, taking out the references to borrowing approval because that is a council thing.
Any comments? No?
Opposed?
It's more than noisy.
Yes. Proposed by Councillor Marie and seconded by Councillor Franklin. Only because he spoke up, so we vote on that, and that's unanimous as well. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I think it was both after 4 years, I got it right. So, moving on to agenda item 8, appointment of members to committees and any new committees. This is to appoint members to committees for the following year. Firstly, the Finance Committee, we're looking for 9 councillors, including the Mayor. And then the Museum and Archive Committee, 9 councillors, including the Mayor. Are there any comments
Councillor
on?
Green stood down from
Yes,
the
he
finance,
has.
so we need another one.
So, from the STBF Finance Committee, we had 9 names for the last year, but as Town Clerk quite correctly points out, Councillor Green has stood down, so hoping somebody might be willing to step into his place, if not, there's pressures on the 8 remaining to remain quorate.
What's this for? The,
STBF finance.
I'll do it. Could you do a vote election soon, aren't we? Yeah. So I'll do it.
That's much appreciated. Thank you. And for museum and archives, there are no changes there unless anybody in the room is going to say they are joined it. No? Okay, thank you very much. So we need to vote that those memberships are accepted with that one change. So Councillor Wiles proposing, Councillor Pennington seconding, and we vote on that. That's unanimous as well, thank you very much. And moving on to agenda item 9, arrangements including legal agreements with local authorities, not-for-profit organisations and businesses. To note that a review to be undertaken and a report to be produced to a trustee at a future meeting.
I'm not really sure what that's
You need to investigate it, is that right?
basically.
Okay, so we're just noting that. Okay. Agenda item 10, review of representation on or work with external bodies and arrangements for reporting back. To note, there are none at this time, so we're noting that as well. And agenda item 11, inventory of land and other assets, including buildings and office equipment. We've been asked to note and receive a report for the inventory and assets register for STBF. Can I just first of all ask, have these all been checked? Have these all been, so I've looked through it myself, have they been checked to make sure they actually exist, all these items?
There's a piece of work that I would like to do in this for the next internal audit, which will be in January,
Right.
to do work on the asset registers for STC and STBF. As far as I'm aware, this is what we have, but we need to have a thorough look at it all.
Okay, so I think as we've been asked to note and receive it, I think we can probably proceed to that. But I'll take
Just
some
one, sorry,
comments.
Mr Mayor, there's just one. I said item 32, I post for the mayor. We had this
And that's
discussion
exactly
last
what
time.
I've got it written down here, yes. I do not have an iPad.
No, and I've never seen you with one,
The next mayor may have one, but I don't.
so we need to just find out who the ex-mayor was that bought it.
And that's my point about do these items actually exist?
I think there's all sorts of
Yes.
things that are erroneous.
Yes.
So that's it.
We discussing properties at this moment.
No, well, it's what it was on the assets list, but it's not properties. No.
No, I just wondering where Jim Martin
Yes, 2 Market Street somewhere.
Oh,
What is that?
Apologies on the second, page 2, freehold properties,
Yeah.
2 Market Street.
Property Market Street.
2 Market Street's the,
You know, that little lawn at the back.
no,
Fins.
front of that.
Oh,
Fins.
the,
Fins.
It's fins.
it's the,
Say it again.
It's the sandwich agreement.
Fins.
Part of the sandwich agreement, we lease it to DVC. Yes, and we get no return financially for it.
Do you know when that review is going to take place for regard to these assets? Because some of this stuff here I've never seen before. I mean, there's item 29 headphones, and we spent £1,371 on headphones. I've never used headphones as
I know where they are. They are in the big safe, in like walk-in safe in the museum. I've seen them,
Okay.
but I think do they have any value anymore? You know, there's a large piece of work that it would be good to do, but it's a small undertaking.
Okay.
Councillor Wiles?
Just on the freehold properties, I know I've raised this before, but the figures there are historic cost.
Yep.
Do they tally with what appears in the STBF accounts, annual accounts?
This is produced from the STBF document.
I mean, again, it's something that if we could discuss with the auditor about whether they should be upgraded to reflect current values, and likewise other assets, whether they should be depreciated to reflect depreciation.
I mean, it's a fair question, because the headphones is a good example. They were purchased in 17, so that is now 9 years ago, so there's no
They have
their
no
value was
value.
anywhere, they've got no value, I actually think, if they work. Sorry.
I was going to make the identical point. I mean, this is not informative at all.
No.
And I mean, it's not. It's everything is. There's no depreciation. There's no appreciation.
depreciation.
You would expect
Sort of thing.
appreciation on property and depreciation on everything else. So,
I think there is, certainly with town councils, assets are put in at the value that they're purchased at and they stay there. So I have to be honest, Councillor Anderson, I haven't really got to the bottom of it, because it's not a small matter.
So I think, so I think as part of that review that takes place between now and January, it should also establish the rules around depreciation and depreciation of assets, and it's about to
For
be
the two
included in-
different bodies,
Yeah.
what belongs to what, you know, it's a huge job.
yes, it is, but, I mean, most of this stuff, which was, I mean, a whole lot of fixtures, fittings and equipment were bought in 2002. It's very unlikely
I
that
know.
they've kept their value.
I know, and then there's the matter of the artworks, and, you know, is that being properly valued, you know, there's all sorts of big jobs. And certainly speaking to the,
And the point's been made before, the Tollbridge Fund is the share portfolio and the assets. So the assets should reflect the real current value, not 50 years ago value.
And for insurance purposes, it's important that the valuation reflects today.
for example, the mace, probably the value, well, no, the value, because I spoke to a jeweller in town, and he indicated to me that the mace needs to be revalued, but it's 1% of the value of the mace to get it revalued, which is going to be thousands just to revalue the mace.
Yeah, but
So-
that is not an STBF.
No,
This is
but
right,
you
yeah.
know, I was
Just
just
as
talking
a
about the
sort of-
issue, you know, that there's artwork which is STBF, you
Yeah.
know, it's the same problem. So we may need to do a bit of a job and then put money into the budget for next year in order to get a valuer in to value, which is going to cost everybody money, in order to get proper valuations done. So it's a large piece of work.
Yes.
Yeah, so can I ask that for the next STBF finance, that you're able to bring a outline of how this will be approached? Because I've heard,
Don't think we'll have time for this
okay,
STBF finance
is
in
when's
July.
that, is that next?
In July, I think that's
Okay,
going to be
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next meeting we can sensibly do, so it's not next one, the one after, will we understand what will happen between then and January?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
because I would expect the first step has to be finding whether these items still actually exist, is the first step, and then all the rest will follow on from that.
If I could just add a point.
Sorry, Councillor Anderson?
Well, I was just going to say that there's a Fishergate toilet on the second floor mentioned. It's given a value of over 23,000. And
When
as
was
I
it last
understand
flooded?
it,
2005
gone.
was last flood.
It's ripped out.
It says 2005 on there, so
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need a,
I do agree.
I suppose I'm a little bit surprised why we've only got it today, because we would have been alarmed if we'd got it in year 1, year 2, year 3, but we've only got it today.
I think that was the cost of installing it. We had to have a toilet in there, in the Fishergate, so we had to have that in the drainage as well.
Yeah,
And that's why it's
did
got
that
that.
over time.
The toilet's still there, isn't it? It's there last time, wasn't it?
is it?
I think
I'm told they're not taking the toilet out, they're taking the shower.
Okay, I don't know.
Toilet stayed.
But it can't be worth 23,000.
No, but I'm saying that's.
But it probably cost £23,000
Yes, it
to
did.
install.
Down here is 23,000.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
therefore that's
Still
value
got-
at the time.
Yeah.
And that was the current value on the day it was bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and last flush in 2005.
Keep playing that application.
Councillor Wiles?
Sorry, I think all that's needed on this is for the RFO to look at the latest statement of recommended practice and just do a brief report about whether what we're reporting here is correct or needs to be.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I mean, I've said that as part of what needs to be done, yes, actually.
Is that toilet out there, is that, because there was never a toilet out there, you know, in the cloakroom, that's where our robes used to hang.
Mm-hmm.
That toilet there, which comes, that's only been there about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
There was a toilet downstairs, so is that all included in this? I don't know how it's included. I mean, it's funny they've got the Fishergate, but then got that toilet there. Don't know.
That's
It's a jungle, isn't it?
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, we have got an assets list in front of us for STBF assets that needs to be analysed, updated, and represented to us by January.
I'll try.
Yeah, with alongside it, the evaluation of whether the depreciation
We will
right
do
in
our
line
best,
with.
but this is not a team
Yeah.
job.
Okay. So we've been asked to note and receive that. Somebody happy to propose? Councillor Pennington and Councillor Franklin. All agree? Is that an abstention, Councillor Thomas?
No. Oh.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 12. This is confirmation arrangements for insurance cover in respect of all insurable risks. We've been asked to receive a risk register for 26-27 as a first item, and that's at 12A. Have you got any comments at all on those risks? Councillor Wiles?
Is this the risk register?
Yeah.
Yeah, it includes page 4, I think it is, salaries.
Okay.
That's not an STBF function anymore. The top of, I think it's the 5th page.
Thank you. Any other comments? No? So somebody happy to propose that we receive risk register and roll it forward from 26-27, Councillor Wiles. Councillor Fortescue. Wiles proposed, Fortescue seconded. Unanimous as well. Thank you very much. The next items to receive are the insurance cover details in relation, firstly to STC/STBF Zurich for the main insurance cover. Any comments at all from that? Town Park, I've looked at it. I'm
No,
okay with
it's,
it.
both the insurance policies are joint between STC and STBF and
Yeah.
then split. So you've seen them all as councillors of STC.
Okay. Somebody have to propose, unless they've got comments on any of those insurance covers, have to propose them as a block. Councillor Fortescue, that we receive them. And Councillor Pennington again for seconding. That's unanimous as well. Okay, my page. And subscriptions to other bodies, to reports. The trustees receive report includes a list of current subscriptions for 25-26. Any questions on any of these subscriptions? No. So we've been asked to receive that, somebody have to propose to receive it. Councillor Pennington, Councillor Anderson seconding, thoughts on that? I think Councillor Marie is supportive, but is busy. Brilliant, thank you very much. Okay, agenda item 14, review of procedures and policies.
Yeah, these were all looked at last year, and so
Yep.
therefore they are, in fact, I think I put them all together in December. So you looked at them in December, so they are the same as the policies that you looked at and approved in December. They just have date range.
Yeah, so we've been asked to move these policies forward for the next year, and it's the data protection policy, the complaints procedure, social media, and safeguarding.
So I suggested if we've already discussed and voted from December, nothing's changed, can we vote from one on block and
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
so
do once on block unless anybody jumps up. If
Yeah.
not, somebody proposed that we accept them for next year. Councillor Reid, then Councillor Pennington. And vote on those. It's unanimous, thank you very much. Agenda item 15, date of the annual meeting of the trustee for 2027. And this is to approve the date for the annual meeting of trustee for it to be held on Monday, the 14th of June 2027 at 7 p.m. The schedules for the ordinary meeting of trustee are already adopted and agreed for this coming year.
Opposed?
Opposed? Councillor Franklin seconded. That's unanimous, thank you very much. And finally, agenda item 16, date of the next STC as STBF trustee meeting. That will be held on Monday, the 14th of September at 7 p.m. Thank you very much.